Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Before the video starts, just want to remind you in the link below, in the description below, there will be a link to go buy tickets for the Scottish YouTuber charity match this August. Please get yourself down there. Tickets as cheap as £6. Get yourself there. Today's video though, I'm just going to kind of do a roundup of news that is Celtic related. I've not got a title for this yet. I've done stuff like this before. I've done videos like this before, just kind of like a Celtic weekly thing where I just gave kind of news update. I don't know if I briefed like 2 weeks back in like March of last year or something. I don't know. But today, just a couple of things I want to talk about. Just a couple of things that have passed on Twitter and other sites and such today and this morning. As you know, there's a couple of big stories, you know. I mean, one story I did not make a video on was the Edzon Edouard and Olivier Ntcham car crash, which has, you know, emerged. I mean, Fast and Furious is really going down. Silly boys, that's what I can say. I don't know the whole implications of the story and how such happened, but they two are in a car crash. Thankfully they're okay, because they're two of our key players, and if they injured themselves, it would have been a right kick in the stones, you know. Anything could have happened, you know what can happen in a car crash, so very lucky. Thankfully they're okay, and hopefully they learn from their mistakes. There's nothing good about risky driving, right? Nothing good. I've said that to my pals numerous times. Nothing good about risky driving. Be safe on the fucking roads. Anyway, that story I could have easily sat down and made a video on, but I mean, what at the end of the day would I have said that video? By the way, they've been in a car crash, they're okay. Maybe they should learn from their mistakes. Is that what I'd do in a video like that? I don't know. I didn't make a video on it, but you've probably heard that was a little bit of news from this week. Something a little bit different. It's not every day we hear about Celtic players being in car crashes. I believe Moussa Dembele was also there. Thank fuck he's alright. I mean, I would have genuinely went and visited him in the hospital. I think I would have went and seen him. But aye, that was a story that broke out this week, so you probably heard, you probably seen about that. But everyone is okay, that's what matters. Probably their insurance will go up a wee bit though. But two stories I mainly want to talk about, and that is one to do with transfers and one to do with injuries. And it has came out today that Leigh Griffiths has suffered yet another injury setback after being plagued with injuries throughout last season. And even the season before. Fitness issues hasn't been great for Leigh Griffiths. And it is quite worrying, but I mean, at the end of the day, he's still a cracking player. We know what he can do when he is his fittest and when he plays his best. We really have a fantastic striker in him, one of the best. I mean, Scotland's best, first of all. And then one of the best in the league, you know, when he's playing his best, when he's at his fittest. But he has suffered yet another injury setback after getting surgery back in May time. And he was getting back into training, and we did hear there was fitness issues that stopped him from being part of the Alaska game. He wasn't even on the bench, as far as I'm aware. He just, you know, it wasn't involved in any way. But now apparently he's aggravated a full injury altogether, and he's going to be out till at least August. So he's going to miss all the games throughout July, all those Champions League qualifiers, the wee friendly we've got there. And he'll probably be out for the start and maybe the majority of August as well. And I believe it's a thigh injury, which isn't great. And it seems that Leigh Griffiths is getting to the point now where he is aggravating all these different injuries. It's not good for us, it's not good for him, and it's a real shame for him because we know he's a cracking player and we want him to be fit. But it really does ask the question, is he fit enough to be a Celtic player at times? I'd personally keep him at the club. I'd love to keep him at the club for now anyway. But there's got to be something that can help, surely. And surely the physios are a key part to maybe bring them back to something. But I mean, we can't really control it. An injury's an injury, right? If you get an injury, there's not much you can do. People are injury prone. We've seen that numerous times. And Leigh Griffiths, yep, you can probably call him injury prone now. It's a gutter that he's out. But there will be a lot of people who I think are now going to sit down and say, if he is injury prone, if he's going to pick up injuries like this left, right and centre, let's punt him. Let's bring in someone else. We need fitness for a team that is playing in the Champions League. There will be people who sit down and say that. And honestly, I can understand that. I can understand that side of the story. And it really doesn't help Griffiths to the fact is, when Brendan Rodgers first came into Celtic, I don't think he was a big fan of Leigh Griffiths originally. Initially when he came in, I don't think he was a big fan because of his fitness levels. We've seen it under Ronnie Dyer. Griffiths wasn't the fittest of players. Yes, he came off the back of scoring 40 goals. But he still wasn't the fittest guy in the world, you know. He's sitting on the bench eating tea cakes and shit like that, you know. He wasn't in the greatest of conditions. And Brendan Rodgers is a guy who has came into Celtic, and one of his key things has been having players in an elite level of fitness. That has been one of his, you know, main priorities as Celtic manager, to keep players in an elite level of fitness. And I think Leigh Griffiths has struggled to keep up with what Brendan Rodgers wants. The likes of what Moussa Dembele and Odsonne-Edouard have. I think Griffiths struggles to get to that level. And that's not a personal thing. I think it's just, you know, they are two more naturally fit players. Naturally fit guys, you know. So I don't know Griffiths what the position he lies in. Hopefully he gets back soon from this injury, because I do want to see him get a lot of chances this season. I want to see him get some goals. We've got 3 top strikers now, and I guess this is the benefit of us now having 2 strikers. But now with 1 out, do we stick with 2 up front? I want to play 2 up front, but it really affects a lot of things. You know, because then if Dembele or Edouard picks up a knock, then we're going to have 1 fit striker. I mean, the only other one apart from Griffiths and A2 is Jack Bloody Aitchison. I say that as if that's a bad thing. I mean, the guy's only 17, 18 year old, so you know, hopefully he gets back soon. The sooner the better. But as I got to see him pick up another injury, but it's news nonetheless, isn't it? So get well soon, Griff. That's all I can say. If somehow you watch these videos, which I fucking doubt, but who cares? The second piece of news is obviously the John Mcginn transfer saga thing. Yay! Second bid has been rejected, but Brendan Rodgers refusing to leave out a third bid. He's refusing to rule it out, which is good, because it looks as though we will actually go ahead and sign John Mcginn. John Mcginn was left out of the Hibs squad, if you didn't hear yesterday, in their Europa League qualifiers, which they won 6-1, and a very good result for Hibs. Rangers only won 2-0. Who's going to finish second this year, lads? Joking. Joking, I am. But Hibs got a very good result without John Mcginn in the team. He didn't even sit on the bench for Hibs yesterday. A lot going down. I think we are pretty much close to bringing him in. We just need to pay the fee that Hibs want, and reportedly Hibs are wanting £4 million and we're only offering £2 million. Pay the money. Peter, pay the money. I don't even just offer them £3.5 million plus Scott Allen. I think that's a fantastic wee offer there. Just do it. Just get it over the line. I mean, £4 million at the end of the day we can afford. And I think we should stop looking at John Mcginn as a player who's only worth £2 million. He's not only worth £2 million. He's a good player, and to a team like Hibs, he's Hibs' best player. £4 million is probably a good deal, and I think we should pay it. Personally, a lot of people won't think we should pay it. John Mcginn is one of the very split players between fans of whether he should sign or not. But I'm very much on the side of we should sign John McGinn. £4 million, not too bad. A third bid will go through. I can only imagine Brendan Rodgers hasn't ruled it out. You know what that means. And when you say, I'm refusing to rule it out, you know that means we're going to do it. Just this time, we'll be less stingy about it and just give Hibs the money. £3 million would be an ideal price, and I think that is respectable for both sides. I think Hibs should say, right, okay, you're only $1 million off what we want, we'll accept it. And Celtic aren't being too stingy in that case as well. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't mind paying the 4. I mean, I don't hold the fucking accounts or anything like that. It doesn't affect me personally. But £4 million with the money that we have been getting from Virgil van Dijk going to Liverpool, Champions League, prize money, blah, 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 this, that, and the next thing. We have it. So why not? That's my mindset towards it. We have it. So why not? Because right now, we're not really being linked heavily with anything else. We keep hearing about centre-halves and right-backs who are maybes. But these maybes always turn out to be nothing. We've seen that over the last 2 years. The amount of videos I've came on and said we've been linked with this, Tom, Dick, Harry, you know, and nothing has came from it. I feel like that is the same again with all these right backs that have been, you know, listed. I really, until you start hearing stuff like to the extent where we're hearing with Mcginn now, where Brendan Rodgers is actually commenting on it, and there has been bids made, and that is official. Then that's when you can start thinking that it's real. But you know, at the end of the day, everything is just kind of rumours. But Mcginn, we should pay the money, I think, bring him in, an extra centre mid at the squad, and an extra bit of depth for Europe, which I would like to see, which is good. And I've already given my opinions on Mcginn, but a second bid has been rejected. That is the main news. So, to round up, Griffiths out, Mcginn in, hopefully. Who's making the fucking racket? Distractions everywhere in this fucking house, I tell you. Hopefully, as I said, Griffiths gets back to full fitness, wish him well. And we'll see what happens with Mcginn. Let me know your opinions to everything that's happened to Griffiths' injury, to Mcginn's potential transfer to the club. Remember to make sure to check out that link in the description also. It would be a fantastic help. I really would appreciate it if you could go and get yourself a ticket at Stennismuir for this game. Like and subscribe, and I see you all next time.